is time to go. Let's get this party started. Well, as you guys know, and let me know if you can hear me all up ins the chat. I had a chance to meet with Sandy Munro. Long awaited interview, and it went great. I was very pleased with it. So I figured, I can make this a little louder. So I figured I would take that opportunity to ask him the questions I'd been wanting for a very long time, and I did just that. Ooh. Network rack, very cool. So I wanted to address some of the more pressing questions from that interview, which I have done. I can move that up a little. There we go. Come on. There we go. Just out of frame. Let me know if you can hear me. Low audio. Cannot hear me. I can. Oh, it is low. There we go. Thank you for the notice on that. So I had a chance to talk with Sandy Munro. You know the guy. The one, the engineer genius who fixes cars for companies that have problems. Better? Better? Is it better? I'll give it just a second to catch up. Should be better now, though. There we go. Thank you, Jeff. There were some really great questions. Seeing Sandy's shock over the Plaid Motors internals speaks volumes. Thank you for the insightful interview. Yeah, Tesla still knows what they're doing. Tesla is still ahead of the curve. If it was me, I would absolutely rest on my laurels. But if it was me, I also wouldn't have built Tesla into what it is today. The beauty that we see. Oh, right. Got to do that. Sandy is an absolute gem, a national treasure even. I would agree. His insights are deep and unique, and that's quite valuable. I never miss Sandy. He's what Consumer Reports should be. I have to agree. Sandy gets it. Sandy knows. He's not, well, I was going to say he's not bought and paid for. He is, but only on certain products. And he's very forthcoming about which products he's bought and paid for on. Thank you so much, Brian, for asking intelligent questions and then letting Sandy give comprehensive answers. That is the mark of professional journalism, and you passed the mark admirably. So, yeah, I've seen a number of Sandy interviews, and mostly they are with people who I'm reasonably confident have a brand new head, because they're the kind of questions you would only ask if you had a brand new head. They haven't done their research, and it's a waste of time. This is an interview I've been trying to get since 2020. But Sandy gets a lot of similar requests, and it is apparent that my interview requests did not make it past the gatekeepers, unfortunately. Wow, kudos for getting a Sandy interview and getting him to spill the beans on the Plaid motor. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I was very pleased that he did, but, I'm not going to complain. Yeah, let's see. Isn't Mr. Monroe Canadian? I don't believe so. He's from Michigan. But if he is Canadian, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that would impact his ability to tear down a vehicle. It would just make him more proud of the robotic arm on the International Space Station. Top quality questions, allowing Sandy to explain himself. So yeah, don't get in the way of a good answer. You don't have to talk over the guy. I did have a couple times when I made it clear to him that I knew what I was talking about. Like when Jeff was there. You were there, Jeff. Jeff is standing, by the way, just off camera. And at one point, Jeff helps by asking a follow-up question. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, it was a great time to relax and let the facts fly. Good grab, Brian. I bet Sandy appreciates talking to someone who knows a little something about what they're talking about. Yeah. Somebody who's actually watched every one of Sandy's videos, and not just casually, but like in a way that would lead to understanding. Seems like a down-to-earth, approachable guy. Very much so. Very approachable. What you see is what you get. Well, I mean, there is Sandy Unchained, but as Jeff knows, there are parts of the interview that did not see the light of day because there was a guy in the comments who decided, well, Sandy only loves Tesla because he's a shareholder. And I can tell you he's not. He is not a shareholder. And that is something about which he is not pleased. He would like to be a shareholder. He was a shareholder. But it represents a conflict of interest. And not morally, but legally. So, yeah. Sandy is legendary. Happy you talked to him and made a video. And yeah, this has been on my professional bucket list since day one. He is the reason why I am back at university. How cool is that? Who actually inspires people these days? He's not just casual viewing. He's an inspiration. And not like a generic inspiration. Oh, I want to do better because I saw a movie. No, he's an actual go out, take steps, get stuff done kind of inspiration. Great interview under difficult circumstances. I also got a lot of heat from one user, from one person, about the quality of it. Oh, the focus is shifting in and out. Yes, that's because we did choose to use autofocus because I wasn't going to trust my teenage son to keep it in focus. I'd rather have it going out a little bit sometimes than risk having the entire thing be out of focus. And he was, oh, you need a better microphone. It's a pretty expensive microphone. It's, this is the setup that was used. It's a 4K Lumix G7. I don't know. It's pretty nice deal. The next interviews will have better sound. I have a new camera arriving tomorrow. A Pocket 2, a DJI Pocket 2. And with the creator combo, so it's got the wireless mic that you can also plug into. So if I get an Elon interview when I go to Giga Texas, which I'm going to do, it'll have better sound. This is journalism right here. Great interview. Your best question was unfortunately cut short, which was to hear Sandy dissect how quickly the total production interval the Cybertrucks will be coming out of production compared to the industry standard. VW's CEO has already taken notice of how Tesla's 3-in-1 are manufactured 3 times faster than VW's best effort. Another nail in the coffin of the OEMs. And Jeff and I talked about this. Yeah, we were disappointed that we didn't get an answer to that. Because I believe, based on the simplicity of the design, it's going to come off the line quick. It's going to be moving fast. And maybe he doesn't have an opinion on that, but pressed, he's absolutely got an opinion. And I would like to... I should start working on my next round of Sandy questions, because there's a reasonable possibility I will see him again at GigaFest. I was at the event, even briefly in the video, and wanted to ask Sandy his thoughts on the new Mean Lean machine, as I was disappointed myself as a shareholder, but I wasn't able to catch him. And when he wasn't already in a conversation, I'm glad you were able to get his thoughts from me. I disagree with him, but great that you got his thoughts on it, as I respect his opinion. Also, great info on the Cybertruck. Yeah. The market potential of the Mean Lean machine remains as yet unknown. They have to build it. Build it, sell it, see what you got. And I don't know. I think for at least some number of years, they will have more demand than they can satisfy. I do have a much longer interview with Mark from Arcimoto from last week when I drove down there. Whole other thing. And he, the only problem is it's long and cutting it down is a bear. So it's killing me. Great questions and follow-ups. Sorry, you got cut off. There's Mark Frohnmeyer from Arcimoto. Sorry, you got cut off from the handler. That's Jordan. Jordan is actually the engineering lead for the development at Arcimoto in conjunction with Monroe Live. Jordan, you may have seen on, I don't remember, one of the teardown. He's appeared in teardown videos. He's a very sharp guy. If a bit unapproachable. I blame some of that on the mask. It's hard to read people's expressions. He seemed very tired that day. And a bit stern. But that's fine. He wasn't unprofessional. Yeah. Who else is buying the Mean Lean Machine? I don't know, man. I'm very curious to see who is going to buy it. As old as this guy is, he's the future. So that's the beauty of engineering, of science really, is that you don't have to be set in your ways. You can always learn from new information, from better engineers and what have yous. Brian asks great questions, very intelligent, so much better than most interviewers. I hope that this interview earned me some credibility among other potential interviewees. I know Jordan Giesecke has said that I am on his list, though I am not anywhere close to the top of it, and that's all right. I have very good questions for him. That will happen at some point, I believe. It's very frustrating. Among the Tesla YouTubers, there's absolutely a community. A big community of big channels, and I ain't in it. And it's frustrating. I thought maybe when I have 100 videos, maybe when I have 2, maybe when I have 3, no. Nope, nope. Just nope. That's why. I'm going to go ahead and go like that. Oh no. Stop. There we go. Maybe when I reach certain levels of seriousness, I will be taken more seriously, but that's just not how it works, unfortunately. So, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just glad you guys are here. All 19 of you. YouTube, what are you doing to me, man? By the way, if you got questions for me about Sandy, about the interview, about any of this, post them. Because we're getting, I could go through these all day, but I only grabbed a certain number. Elon did say the technology in the Plaid was like alien technology. Sandy seems to agree with you. There are things that he didn't know were possible. And as long as your company is staying out that far ahead of the competition, you're going to do things that make everyone else wonder how you got them done. Ooh, might need to make that one bigger. Amazing surprise, Brian. Happy you were there and we got to go along. Looking forward to all the new news. Yeah. Great questions. Elon, alien technology. Great questions. Good interview. Yeah, I guess I put that one in to make myself feel better. Yeah, there are people who appreciate good questions. There are unfortunately more people who appreciate a pretty face, but this what I got. I've had people, especially in the early days of the channel, complain that my voice is not, that I have a face for radio and a voice for silent films. They weren't quite as clever. Mean people, You really got to up your game on the clever stuff. Don't just say, hey man, you're fat. Say, I can hear your heart from here. I don't know. Say, thank goodness the ambassador from Fat Stan is here to pay a visit. Say something clever. We've heard the fat jokes. But this is what I got. If you believe in God, this is what God gave me. He is also a bit of a joker. I respect Sandy, but in my opinion, Cybertruck will be too heavy to get significant range at reasonable cost. Defeats the green argument for EVs. That is an absolutely fair question. If the objective is to go green, why make something so gosh darn heavy? And the answer kind of boils down to it's what people want. It's what people want. There's a market for it. Definitely for work trucks. I can absolutely see the argument for work trucks. Most people will not be using this as a work truck. Most people do not use trucks as a work truck. So let's get into the questions here. Real quick, massive thank you to my Patreons who, get early access, bonus content, an ad-free experience, and to help keep the channel running for as little as $1 a month and all that good stuff. Thank you, Jeff, for your recent upgrade. That was very cool. Jeff got some inside scoop when we were at the Arcimoto event, which led him to increase his pledge. And I appreciate that, Jeff, obviously. More than the actual dollars, though I certainly appreciate those. Got something in my coffee. More than the actual dollars, I appreciate the vote of confidence that comes with your sponsorship. Because it just means a lot, man. It's like when Tesla stock is down, YouTube is down. If you look at any of the big EV channels, they had a rough February. Not much subscriber growth, not much views, not much, I assume, revenue compared to what's normal. And my March revenue it's down. It's down in ways that make me very grateful and encouraged that I have you guys on Patreon. So yes, let's get back to the questions. Sandy is quite a character. Yeah, and again, what you see is what you get. Blind guy back here, looking for the autonomous version of the Mean Lean Machine. And they've done a neat thing. Building an autonomous division is very, very difficult. They've just partnered with someone and allowed for a collaboration that will have the third party doing all the work. And yeah, maybe you give up some profit way down the road, but you could always bring that in-house if it becomes an easy thing. You can always renegotiate if 10 companies crack it. Charlie is saying, Sandy is indeed Canadian. Fantastic. Any guess on the Tesla production and sales numbers? I'm working on it. For the quarter, you mean? I'm working on it. What I'm doing this time is I'm taking my usual guessing strategy, and then I'm going to augment it by my margin of error for the past 2 quarters, and hopefully that'll get me closer. China is absolutely whooping butt. China, amazing. Not only are they still expanding capacity, but they have enough surplus production capacity to send 5,000 battery packs a week to Berlin. And then once Berlin's battery system gets online and the new expansions at Shanghai come up, this could be the year that Model Y becomes the best-selling car in the world. That would be cool. Jeff says, our host Mark wanted some attention as well. Yes, and it's his event. I think Mark, who pops in at some point here, absolutely deserves that attention. I mean, he paid for it. And what a great speech it was. I got to see the rehearsal. Because apparently if you walk around with a tripod and a big enough camera, people assume you're supposed to be there. And the speech, boy, he's a great speaker. Stevie Z has an e-bike already, so I guess I'm out. It might take a little while to get on the list, to get to your mean lean machine. And I did ask him, why did you call it an MLM? And he said, because people are going to recommend it to each other. They're going to tell their friends, tell them they have to get in on it. He was joking, but... Jeff, I don't know if an FUV would make sense for me, even in San Francisco, even in the Bay Area. Northern California, get some actual weather. It's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. I will tell you, the leaning part sounds appealing because when I rode the Mean Lean Machine, I did not care for the way in which or not the Mean Lean Machine, the FUV. It felt, when you turned, it felt like your center of gravity was off. That's what it was. Will Chinese EVs flood the market like Japanese cars did in the 80s? Maybe. Maybe. The problem is, when you build to American standards, it costs American prices. So the Honda Accord, the Toyota Camry, those are wonderful cars, but they're not that much cheaper than anything else, because once you build them to that standard, they're expensive again. But anyone who overlooks the possibility of China swooping in and eating our lunch in EVs is missing something. Jeff says, this interview certainly got republished. Yes. Lars from Best in Tesla saw it immediately and asked for permission. And I was like, buddy, you don't have to ask me for permission. We friends, you can use it. So I sent Dylan from Electrified a notice saying, by the way, you can also use it. And then Stephen Mark Ryan just used it and put my credit way down at the bottom. To which I was like, cool. Hey, man, I know I've asked every 3 to 6 months for a year and a half. Could I get an interview? And what he said would surprise you. Or it would surprise me if he had responded. He's a busy guy, I guess. Pardon me. Okay. Oh, Sandy showed off a mesh carbon fiber wrapper today for the latest plaid motors. So there's Mark. So there's a lot of people in the comments who thought Sandy does not know what he's talking about. Sandy knows what he's talking about. Sandy's a sharp guy. If Sandy says a carbon sleeve would work, it would work. And I get it. Well, it doesn't have the tension. It doesn't, whatever. Unless you are in carbon fiber technology yourself, I will defer to Sandy's assessment over yours. It's not going to be that heavy with the exoskeleton. It will, though, because it's a big vehicle. There's no way to make something that big not some degree of heavy. You could make something that looks like a canoe, the car canoe, not the boat. That's just a people box. That would be the lightest form factor for the most interior space. A Cybertruck it's a beast. And if you saw my video today about the cost of nickel, that's gonna... Greenpad says, everyone give a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Did anyone else buy the dip this week? I wanted to, but as it turns out, I am already almost all in on Tesla. Yeah. The stock bloodbath. I have viewers who trade in options who have had a very difficult, frustrating few weeks. I mean, a lot of us have watched our portfolio drop by a third. If you're trading in options, it's going to drop by more than a third. Can't wait for the two new gigas to start. We can see it. We can see it. They're already producing some models. It's about to get serious. One factory in Shanghai, 2 at the same time, Texas and Berlin. Will the next announcement be 3? I don't think so. Unless the announcement is expanding Shanghai, which we've already heard they are doing. So that's the next announcement, I guess. Expanding Texas and or Berlin. By the way, that is Nikki from Transport Evolved. And this fat guy, well, that's me. Oh, and that's my camera son. That's Don, who has done some editing. And that's my other son, Brendan. Hello, everybody. Because, you know, you asked. Yeah. So I think the next announcements are just as likely to be expansions of existing ones. And Berlin gets a lot of heat for their red tape, but they have... Oh, no. But they have... They shouldn't. It was still built in record time by German standards. Was there a leaning FUV there? There was not. I thought that's what the event was going to be, was a leaning FUV, but no. Tracking those new gigas will be fascinating. Yeah. I am break ground somewhere, baby. I gotta track. When I'm not doing my math, I'm not comfortable. Oh, the weather with the new doors seemed okay. Good, Jeff. That's good to know. Oh, Charlie says, I don't think the doors are necessary, in Arizona at least. Digital Blade Canada, hello. Stephen is savage. I'd be lying to say I'm not jealous of his success. Oh, hi, Daniel. Glad you made it. Yeah, I also never do any margin or any options, because to me that's gambling. And every time I've looked to make, sometimes I play the gambling game in my head, where I'll like send myself a calendar reminder to say, hey, how did such and such stock do? When there was a bunch of promising early vaccine companies, I made a list of, I think, 3 and said, see what these guys are up to in a year. And thank goodness I didn't invest, because that gamble would not have paid. I still haven't looked today. I haven't looked today either. I haven't. It's not as much fun when it's red. And even if it's green, it's not green enough to make me happy. Gary Black thinks Giga UK might be a thing. Yeah. So, I bet GigaFest will have good barbecue. I'm looking forward to the Texas trip overall. I'm going to be there from the April 7th through the 12th. So I will have a chance to go to Starbase and not get in. I'll have a chance to go to Giga Texas and hopefully get in. On Sunday this week, 2 days, I'm going to the Tesla Owners Club in Portland. And at that mall is also the Electromechanica showroom for some reason. So I'm going to check that out as well. So we will see how all that stuff goes. Any last minute questions? We are at 7:30. I know if Mark pops in, he'll appreciate us finishing on time, on schedule. Stock market may improve based on first quarter results. Absolutely. Not just Tesla's first quarter results, but everyone else's as well. Because everyone else is still saying part shortage, and Tesla's saying part shortage, but look at these numbers. It's a big deal. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Good news, the stock will not go down tomorrow. Hello, Mark. Yeah, I'm prompt. I'm doing my job. The stock market will not go down tomorrow. That's a prediction you can take to the bank. Same for Sunday. No dip on Sunday. So guys, what did I miss or misunderstand? Leave me all your thoughts, your comments, your juicy wisdom, your blinding brilliance into them comments below. And as always, stay tuned, stay juicy, and remember that I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots in the future. Now, which button turns this off? I can find it. Here it is.